Have you ever stopped to think that some simple daily tasks can become true challenges as the years go by? That cleaning, which used to be routine, can now be exhausting and even dangerous for our parents and grandparents. Imagine the difficulty of scrubbing the floor for hours, moving heavy furniture, or climbing on chairs to reach a cabinet, all while the body no longer has the same energy and agility as before. In this video, we're going to reveal 7 common cleaning habits that can be too tiring and even risky for seniors. We'll discover why these tasks become so difficult and how we can adapt the cleaning routine to ensure more comfort, safety, and well-being for those we love. Stay with us until the end to understand everything. And if you care about this topic, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment. What cleaning habit do you find most challenging for seniors? Chapter 1. Manually scrubbing the floor for long periods. Manually scrubbing the floor, especially in large areas, is a task that requires considerable physical effort and stamina. For seniors, this activity can be particularly exhausting due to the need to remain bent over or kneeling for long periods. The intense pressure exerted on the knee joints and spine can aggravate pre-existing conditions like arthritis or back pain. The repetitive scrubbing motion can also quickly lead to muscle fatigue, making the completion of the task a torment. Furthermore, the risk of falls increases significantly. The decrease in flexibility and muscle strength is a crucial factor that makes this task arduous for seniors. With aging, muscles lose mass and elasticity, which compromises the ability to perform repetitive movements and maintain demanding postures. The spine, which naturally curves with age, suffers even more under the burden of having to remain flexed. Recovery after this activity tends to be slower for seniors who may experience pain and discomfort for days. This directly impacts their quality of life. Execution time is another critical point. The larger the area to be cleaned, the more time-consuming and tiring the task becomes. Imagine a house with several rooms where the floor needs to be meticulously scrubbed. For a senior, this can take hours, requiring frequent breaks that disrupt the rhythm and increase the feeling of frustration. The fatigue accumulated throughout the cleaning can compromise attention and coordination, further raising the risk of accidents. It's a vicious cycle of effort and exhaustion. The humidity of the floor during manual cleaning also presents a real risk of slips and falls, which are particularly dangerous for seniors due to bone fragility. A simple fall can result in severe fractures, such as hip fractures, which severely compromise mobility and independence. The fear of falling can generate anxiety and insecurity, causing the senior to avoid the task or perform it with extreme slowness and apprehension. Safety must always be the top priority. Considering all these factors, it becomes clear that manually scrubbing the floor for long periods is a cleaning habit that can be exhausting and dangerous for seniors. It is essential to seek alternatives that minimize physical effort and ensure safety, such as using mops with wringers, vacuum cleaners, and robotic vacuums. Small adaptations can make a big difference in the cleaning routine and the quality of life of seniors, preserving their health and autonomy. Accident prevention is crucial. Chapter 2. Lifting and dragging heavy furniture. The task of lifting and dragging heavy furniture inside the house represents a major physical challenge for seniors, exposing them to considerable risks of injury. Sofas, beds, cabinets, and even solid chairs can seem insurmountable when muscle strength and mobility are reduced. Attempting to move these objects can result in muscle strains, back pain, joint problems, and even hernias, especially if the technique used is not adequate or if the weight is excessive for the senior's physical capacity. The decrease in strength in the lumbar region and lower limbs, common with aging, makes the act of lifting heavy objects particularly dangerous. The muscles that once offered support and stability to the spine no longer respond in the same way, increasing vulnerability to injuries. Furthermore, loss of balance, also frequent in seniors, can lead to falls when attempting to move heavy furniture, with consequences that can range from bruises to serious fractures. Dragging furniture, even if it seems less risky than lifting, also imposes significant stress on seniors' bodies. The need to bend, exert force with arms and legs, and maintain control of the object as it slides can overload joints and muscles. Floors that offer too much grip can make movement even more difficult, requiring extra effort that can lead to exhaustion and persistent pain. The lack of wheels on many older pieces of furniture exacerbates this situation. The perception of one's own physical limit may be altered in some seniors who may try to perform tasks beyond their capacity out of habit or necessity. This overestimation of strength can increase the risk of accidents and injuries, as the body cannot support the required effort. It is important for seniors to be aware of their limitations and seek help to move heavy objects, thus avoiding negative consequences for their health and well-being. Safety should come first. Given these risks, it is essential to find alternatives to prevent seniors from needing to lift and drag heavy furniture. One option is strategic organization of environments, minimizing the need for frequent movement. Another possibility is the use of devices that facilitate movement, such as casters installed on furniture or support carts. In situations where movement is inevitable, asking for help from family, friends, or professionals is the safest and most responsible approach to protect the physical health of seniors. Chapter 3: Climbing ladders or chairs to reach high places. Reaching objects in high places such as shelves, upper cabinets, or light fixtures may seem like a trivial task for most people, but for seniors, this activity represents a significant risk of falls. Climbing ladders, even small ones, or improvising by using unstable chairs compromises balance and increases the likelihood of serious accidents. The decrease in muscle strength in the legs and possible dizziness when changing levels contribute to the insecurity and danger of this practice. Slower motor coordination and reflexes, common characteristics of aging, make it difficult to balance on elevated surfaces and react quickly in case of loss of support. A small imbalance when climbing or descending a ladder or chair can have serious consequences, resulting in falls that can lead to fractures, sprains, and other traumas. The fear of falling can also generate anxiety and insecurity, causing seniors to avoid accessing important items or constantly ask for help. The use of ladders requires attention and agility, skills that may be compromised in seniors. Slippery steps, lack of adequate handrails, or rushing to perform the task further increase the risk of accidents. Improvising with chairs, which are often not designed to offer stability as a support for reaching heights, is even more dangerous. A chair can easily tip over, causing an unexpected and potentially serious fall. The need to reach objects stored in high places can be frequent in daily life, from grabbing a book on a shelf to changing a light bulb. For seniors living alone, this difficulty becomes even greater, as there is no one nearby to assist. The frustration of not being able to perform a simple task independently can negatively impact self-esteem and quality of life. The pursuit of autonomy is important, but safety must be a priority. To minimize the risks associated with reaching high places, it is essential to rethink the organization of spaces and the arrangement of objects. Frequently used items should be stored in easily accessible locations, avoiding the need to climb ladders or chairs. Installing lower shelves or using organizers that facilitate access can be effective solutions. If the need to reach high places is inevitable, it is essential to use safe ladders with non-slip steps and handrails, and whenever possible, to have the help of another person. Chapter 4: Cleaning windows from the outside. The task of cleaning windows from the outside is one of the most exhaustive and risky cleaning habits for seniors, especially those located on upper floors or that are difficult to access. The need to stretch, bend, and often lean on unstable sills or ladders significantly increases the risk of falls. The repetitive effort of scrubbing and drying the glass surface, while maintaining balance in uncomfortable positions can lead to muscle fatigue and dizziness, raising the likelihood of accidents. The decrease in agility and motor coordination, which is natural with aging, makes this activity even more dangerous. A simple misstep, a momentary imbalance, or a slower reflex to catch oneself can result in a fatal fall. Bone fragility, common in seniors, means that even a fall from a low height can cause severe fractures, such as hip fractures, which irreversibly compromise mobility and independence. The constant concern for safety becomes a burden. In addition to physical risk, external window cleaning can be emotionally draining. The fear of falling, the difficulty in reaching all corners, and the frustration of not being able to perform the task with the same dexterity as before can generate anxiety and discouragement. For seniors living alone, the absence of someone to help or to ensure safety during the task further intensifies the feeling of vulnerability and isolation. It is a heavy responsibility to bear. Adverse weather conditions such as strong winds, rain, or intense sun can aggravate the dangers of external window cleaning. A sudden gust of wind can unbalance the senior, and rain can make surfaces slippery. Prolonged exposure to the sun can cause dehydration and dizziness. All these factors exponentially increase the risk of accidents, transforming a simple domestic task into a high-risk situation. The weather does not contribute to safety. It is crucial to recognize that cleaning windows from the outside is a task that, for seniors, should be delegated or adapted. Considering hiring professional window cleaning services is a safe and effective alternative. If this is not possible, using cleaning equipment with extendable handles or robotic window cleaners can reduce the need for physical effort and exposure to risks. The safety and well-being of the senior must always be the top priority, thus avoiding unnecessary accidents. Chapter 5. Carrying buckets full of water. Carrying buckets full of water is one of the most underestimated cleaning tasks in terms of effort and risk for seniors. A 10-liter bucket of water weighs approximately 10 kilograms, and repeatedly lifting and transporting this weight can overload the spine, shoulders, and arms. The lack of muscle strength and decreased trunk stability make this activity dangerous, increasing the likelihood of back pain, strains, and even more serious injuries, such as herniated discs. In addition to the weight, the nature of carrying a full bucket of water involves instability. The water inside the bucket moves, constantly changing the center of gravity, which requires extra effort from the muscles to maintain balance. For seniors, whose balance may already be compromised due to factors such as vertigo or muscle weakness in the legs, this instability adds a significant layer of risk, potentially leading to trips and falls, especially on wet floors. The act of filling and emptying buckets also presents challenges. Bending over a sink or tub to fill the bucket, and then bending over to pour the dirty water into the toilet or drain, requires movements that can be painful for those with joint or spinal problems. Repeating these movements throughout a cleaning session can accumulate fatigue and increase the chance of repetitive strain injuries, making recovery longer and more painful. The moisture associated with this task is also a risk factor. Dripping buckets or water splashes on the floor can create slippery surfaces, increasing the likelihood of accidents. A senior can easily slip on a small puddle of water, even if it seems harmless, resulting in a fall that can have serious consequences for their health and autonomy. Extra attention is needed, but it is not always enough to prevent incidents. To mitigate the risks of carrying buckets full of water, some adaptations are essential. Using smaller and lighter buckets, which require less effort to transport, is an excellent option. Mops with integrated wringing systems, which eliminate the need to carry and wring heavy buckets, are also a smart alternative. In addition, considering the use of wet vacuum cleaners or steam cleaning machines can drastically reduce the dependence on buckets, ensuring more safety and comfort for seniors. Chapter 6. Using products that require a lot of force for application. Cleaning surfaces often involves using products that demand considerable force for effective application, which can be a serious problem for seniors. Sprays that require constant trigger pressure, paste cleaners that need vigorous scrubbing, or waxes that demand intense polishing are examples. The decrease in hand and arm strength, along with reduced finger dexterity, makes these products difficult to handle and apply properly, resulting in fatigue and even joint pain. Product packaging can also be a significant obstacle. Tight screw caps, rigid spray nozzles, or large and heavy containers are challenges that require strength and manual dexterity. For seniors with arthritis, rheumatism, or other conditions affecting their hands, opening and handling these containers can be extremely painful and frustrating, making the simple act of starting to clean a Herculean task. The ergonomics of these packages are not designed for them. The repetitive effort of scrubbing or polishing a surface with a product that requires a lot of force can lead to repetitive strain injuries, RSI, such as tendinitis and bursitis, which cause chronic pain, and further limit the ability to perform daily tasks. Recovery from these injuries in seniors is generally slower and more complex, potentially significantly impacting their quality of life and autonomy to perform basic activities. Prevention is the best approach. In addition to physical effort, the application of certain cleaning products may involve inhaling chemical fumes or direct skin contact, which requires the use of personal protective equipment, such as gloves. However, for seniors, putting on gloves can be difficult and skin sensitivity may be greater, increasing the risk of irritation or allergic reactions. The discomfort and difficulty in dealing with these aspects can discourage proper cleaning. It is essential to seek alternatives and solutions that make seniors' lives easier when it comes to cleaning. Choosing products in easier-to-open packaging with gentle spray nozzles or in ready-to-use formats, such as wet wipes, can be a great help. Opting for products that do not require vigorous scrubbing, such as no-rinse multi-purpose cleaners or self-acting products, can also relieve effort. Adaptation and intelligent product choice are crucial for safety and well-being. Chapter 7. Performing heavy cleaning in a single day. The practice of concentrating all heavy cleaning on a single day is an extremely tiring and harmful habit for seniors. The idea of tidying up the whole house at once may seem efficient, but for a body that no longer has the same energy and stamina, this translates into hours of continuous and exhaustive effort. Sweeping, vacuuming, scrubbing, dusting, cleaning bathrooms and kitchens in sequence demands a physical toll that exceeds the recovery capacity of the elderly organism, leading to extreme fatigue and physical and mental exhaustion. The fatigue accumulated over a day of heavy cleaning drastically increases the risk of accidents. An exhausted senior has slower reflexes, less attention, and compromised motor coordination, making them more prone to trips, slips, and falls. Dehydration, which can occur if fluid intake is insufficient during prolonged effort, also contributes to fatigue and dizziness, further raising the danger of domestic accidents. The body simply cannot keep up. In addition to immediate physical risks, performing heavy cleaning on a single day can worsen pre-existing health conditions in seniors. Joint pain, spinal problems, heart and respiratory diseases can be intensified by excessive exertion. Muscle recovery is slower with age, and an intense day of cleaning can result in persistent pain for days, limiting mobility and the ability to perform other essential activities, such as walking or eating properly. The pressure to complete all tasks in a single day can generate stress and anxiety. The senior may feel overwhelmed and frustrated by not being able to keep up or by feeling that they are not doing enough. This excessive demand can negatively impact emotional well-being, transforming an activity that should contribute to a healthy environment into a source of anguish and unhappiness. The mind also suffers from the disproportionate effort. To avoid the dangers of performing heavy cleaning on a single day, the solution is planning and task division, distributing cleaning activities throughout the week, dedicating small periods each day to different rooms, or types of cleaning can make the routine lighter and more manageable. Prioritizing essential tasks and, if possible, relying on the help of family members or support services are smart measures to ensure a clean and safe environment without compromising the health and well-being of seniors. Conclusion: we've seen that while cleaning is essential for a healthy environment, some habits can be overly tiring and dangerous for seniors. From scrubbing the floor for hours to lifting heavy furniture, climbing ladders, or concentrating all cleaning in a single day, all these actions can pose risks to the health and safety of those who no longer have the same strength and agility. The importance of adapting the cleaning routine, seeking alternatives, and, above all, prioritizing safety and well-being is fundamental. Thinking about ways to facilitate these tasks, whether through appropriate equipment, division of responsibilities, or even with the help of professionals, is an act of affection and care. If you care about the quality of life of seniors and want more tips on how to make everyday life lighter and safer for them, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment. Which of these tips will you start applying to better care for those you love? Your participation is very important to us.